All right, guys, this is an honor and a pleasure to be here. Fantastic panel. I got the best of the best attention in the industry, so I'm really excited about what I have to share with you guys today. Who was here last year? Any of you guys were at the Vision Summit 2010? Let me rewind the clock a little bit, and I have a little video that I want to play here. So if we can do this video.
Dr. Bazan is a very smart optometrist in Park Slope, Brooklyn. Recognizes the
Never gets
value
old.
of that testimonial on Yelp. What is said about you is 1,000 times more powerful than anything you can say about yourself. So what he's done is taken that review content and spread it across the internet, across all of the free platforms that we've been talking about here.
How cool is that? I got the user review guy reviewing me. So I'm Justin Bazan from Park Slope Eye. I'm a private practitioner OD. And what I did was opened up a practice in the middle of our session back in the summer of 2008. Kind of crazy. What's even crazier is I spent all my money on a snack bar and an iMac and some slick signage. For real. No budget for marketing whatsoever. That's really my schedule. Swear to God. I had a lot of time on my hands. And with that time, I began to think about how the heck am I going to get patients into my exam room. So that thinking led me down the road of where is the world today? Where does the world exist? Where are people? What are they comfortable doing now? And I knew that I had to be online, and I had to connect. You know, take a look at this. If this doesn't sum it up, you got an infant on an iPad. This kid's going to grow up in a generation where they have never known anything but how to do stuff on the internet and online. Nowadays, people are comfortable buying things online. Everything and anything you can find online. Take a look at what the best-selling product is on Amazon. If that's not a sign of the times, it's not a book. It's the Kindle, ebooks. I started to think about what the heck was going on in traditional media, print, radio, television. I found myself watching less and less TV on a tube television and more on YouTube. I was starting to engage more and more online. I wondered, is the traditional way of advertising really something that I want to get into? You know, everybody was telling me, oh, you got to get your Yellow Page ad. Go as big as you can afford. I said, screw that. I'm not even going to be in the Yellow Pages. So I have yet to actually invest any money in the Yellow Pages. So there was this mix between digital and real world, and I knew I had to find a nice balance between that. People were engaging online. Extremely high hours were spent on Facebook. And I knew that there was some power in Facebook, so I started to look into social media. And damn, that's kind of overwhelming. How do you decide what to do? Well, I just figured out what the most popular one was, and I went for it. So I started to look at Facebook, and I realized Facebook's kind of big. How big is Facebook? About 550 million big. And it's hot. Facebook is so hot, it's hotter than porn. The internet used to be for porn, now the internet's for Facebook. Facebook is so popular, it has toppled the mighty Google as far as traffic goes on a weekly basis. Facebook's also addictive. Probably here today, most of you have already checked something on Facebook. I fall into this category. I use my iPhone as the alarm clock. So the first thing I do is I turn off the alarm clock and my screen pops up, and what do I see? I see I have 4 notifications on Facebook. So even before I'm getting out of bed, I'm checking my Facebook. There's some power to that. So what is their secret? Well, I want you to sizzle this into your retina because this really summarizes what Facebook can do to an optometric office. It gives brick and mortar a face. It gives you a persona. It gives you a personality to use and interact with people online. So the whole secret to that is this like button. Facebook makes you likable to people that are online using Facebook. So the whole key is to get likable and then interact with people online. And if you're not likable, you need to build this into your company structure. A couple of things that we include in our training are Carnegie's book, and this book has been actually priceless, not worth it. It's a book by Jeffrey Gitomer. So after you get likable, then you take those skills online. And the whole key here is engaging content, not just content. Content is not king. It's engaging content is what's really king. And this is the hardest part. When I talk to practitioners, they're like, I don't know what to post. I have no clue. So what I want to do today is highlight some of the more popular things that we post about. One of them is just utilize the patience that you have. Look at how friggin' cute this kid is with one of my doctors, right? Tell the story. Sell the emotion. Put that aspect on your page. People respond well. Look at the comments. Look at the likes. Look at how many people are interacting. This is really deepening the relationship that you have with people. The other thing that we do is I have a slit lamp camera and I shoot video. Cool stuff like this ends up all over other people's Facebook pages. One of the patients that I've seen, actually this guy right here, didn't happen to click, he liked this, he didn't happen to leave a comment, but through another friend of mine, he saw this video on that guy's Facebook page. So your reach is incredible. Even when you're thinking you're not reaching anybody because only 2 people clicked, they liked it, it's showing up on people's pages, and it makes a difference. Here, community involvement. We have practices where we're engaged in the community. That's how we build business. But instead of the people at this cow eyeball dissection seeing it, now a ton of people have seen it. We have close to 2,000 impressions on there. Build businesses with other business. And this is where Facebook's got really interesting. On March 11th, they've actually given businesses the ability to interact with other businesses as the business. And this is a way, Time at the Table is a local business, where we get in front of their fan base and they get in front of our fan base, and it generates a lot of emotion out of people. The other thing that I like to do is party. So we throw a ton of parties. People like fun. If you're showing people how fun you are, they're going to want to be engaged with you offline too. So you're showing them what's going on online, and then they actually end up coming to these events. The last event we had nothing to do with eyes. Nintendo sent us a free Wii, and we just had a party in the office, and it was a huge success. 50 people showed up. The other thing we highlight is our patients. So you have interesting patients. Facebook's the best place for people to find out what's cool and new and interesting about other people. You can use that. This is a patient of mine that happens to be in a band, a teenager who plays bass. She had some videos on YouTube, so what do? We throw it up there. Do you think her and her family are going to go to any other doctor after I just blew her up on Facebook? Probably not. Actually, I think she's going to come in and do a concert for us, so I'm excited about that too. The other thing you can do is give away. People love free stuff, and they love good causes. So what we did was we had a Facebook event, a photo tagging event called Tag a Teacher. We got one of the vendors to comp a frame. We put up a 2-week period where people, not even just our fans, could actually tag this picture, tag their friends, spread the word about this contest, and we ended up giving away a pair of glasses to a teacher. And you can see, I think we had over 100, this is half of the people, we had over 100 people respond to this. So a lot of engagement going on. So Facebook really is the super glue that's going to bond you to your patients. You know, as doctors, I might get 20 minutes out of the year to spend time with people to deepen that relationship, and it would take years. Facebook accelerates that. Facebook gives your business a personality that you can use to strengthen and build upon those bonds that you've established in the office, offline. So I figured I had to throw one in academic slide here. So you can see here that Facebook's fitting into the loyalty category here. So we're deepening those bonds and we're strengthening our advocacy base. And once that happens, you get to the word of mouth. Now, word of mouth was one of my goals and one of my visions, and it was how I wanted to build my practice. So what we found is what people say about you is 1,000 times more powerful than what you say about yourself. And that's why I let Paul Reich tell you how cool I was rather than me just bragging about it. So where does word of mouth take place? Well, it's around the water cooler at work. It's at your kid's soccer game. It's around the dinner table. It's at the bar. And now it's happening at all of those places, but it's also happening on these social networks. It's happening on these social networks right when it's taking place. You can see that there's a lot of user review sites that have the ability to be mobile, and I think social mobile media is going to be huge. It's also when they get home, they sit down, and they really want to share their thoughts to help others learn about the experiences that they had at the businesses they've been patronizing. So Yelp is ridiculously hot in New York, and we knew that that was the user review platform that we wanted to embrace to spread our word of mouth. So Yelp's the fun and easy way to find and talk about great and not so great local businesses. And that's exactly what we wanted to encourage because user reviews are powerful. So when I'm looking for a restaurant to eat out in Park Slope, and I come across a restaurant like Al Di La, I'm automatically being drawn to this where it says friends over here. So you can see that it's not only a user review, but it's selecting my friends that are either on Facebook and or Yelp, and it's giving me their review of a place that I'm considering going to. How does that fit into my business? Well, if you're doing a search for an eye doctor in Brooklyn, you're going to get a lot of choices. Park Slope's damn saturated. We have 17 providers are right around me within a 20-block radius. So what we're finding is people are doing these online searches. And it's not only the searches online, but the research is online. And that's important because people care about their eyes, and they're going to care enough to find out if the provider they're going to is a good fit for them. These reviews are in-depth analysis and testimonials and a list, this is the most important part, a list of the experience they had in the office. So right now, what you're seeing is one of the probably most popular reviews we had. It was actually a review of the day back in January on Yelp. And it lists Wing's experience at the office in detail. So this is the slide that I want you to burn into your retina for Yelp. Yelp allows the ideal patient to match their ideal experience to your office. So you're getting the best patients, because they already know what to expect, coming in to see you. It makes my day awesome. They're coming to me because of the things that I'm already doing. So they know what to expect, and as long as I deliver on those expectations, the positive reviews, the 5-star reviews are just going to keep churning. So how do we get that buzz going? Well, I can tell you I have never, ever, ever, ever solicited or asked for a user review. What we do is we create awareness, and I promote Yelp. Any email that you ever get from the office is going to have Yelp on there. So it's creating an awareness. We have in-office stuff that they see at the counter. We make use of special check-in offers because everybody now has a smartphone where they can utilize the Yelp application. Sometimes we incentivize or bribe them a little bit with that. Actually, Park Slope Eye lip balm has been a hot item in the winter. We also blow it up on all of our websites. You can see here, this is what the new Facebook profile looks like. And there's a couple things that you notice. Right there, you see the Yelp is front and center. And that has been huge. Once you start tying in and using Yelp everywhere, people start to take notice of it. And if more and more businesses do, that's going to add to the popularity and the usage of the site just to help you even more. Again, we're going back to this party thing. You guys are going to think we throw parties every week. Every other week, usually. But the best thing that we did for Yelp was we targeted an elite group of Yelpers. These guys have the biggest mouths and the broadest reach and the biggest network of friends. So we went for the best of the best, and we said, come check out our office. We ended up having a Yelp Gets Framed party where I think over 50 of the best and most talented Yelpers came, and the publicity was phenomenal on Yelp, on and off Yelp, actually. And that really jump-started our ability to work well with Yelp. So what's the end result? You're going to have an army of loyal advocates that are going to go into battle for you. And this is hopefully the end result of all your social media, is you have somebody looking for you and so excited once they actually found their eye doctor that they look like this guy. So thank you for your attention, guys.